Hello everyone, my name is Đặng Thanh Mai. I'm a teacher of English at Phước Thắng Secondary School in Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu Province. Welcome all of you to Unit 1, Local Environment of English 9. This unit includes these main contents. First, vocabulary in relation to traditional crafts. Second, pronunciation. The third main content is about grammar point. And the last one is homework. Local environment is not about environmental issues such as pollution, global warming, or deforestation, but it's about physical conditions in an area, such as its features, places of interest, or traditional crafts. Craft is an activity involving a special skill at making things with your hands. For example, conical hat making, it is craft. And conical hat, it is handicraft. So you can distinguish between craft and handicraft. Can you tell me some handicrafts that you have learned? Such as conical hats. Now I will give you 30 seconds to think of some handicrafts. All right, let's check. Some handicrafts are drums, silk, pottery, paintings, and lanterns. I will give you some vocabulary in relation to traditional crafts. Now look at these pictures. They are artisans. An artisan is a person who does work that needs a special skill making things with their hands. Artisan, craftsman. For example, these handicrafts were made by skilled local artisans. Pay attention to artisan. It has two stresses. You can put the stress on the first syllable, artisan, artisan, or the stress on the third syllable, artisan, artisan. These artisans are working in the pottery workshop. Workshop is a room or a building in which things are made or repaired using tools or machines. For example, workshop, workshop. Lacquerware, lacquerware. Objects made from wood or metal that has a hard, shiny, decorative surface from having been painted with a special liquid called lacquer. For example, she has a large collection of Japanese lacquerware. Marble sculpture, marble sculpture. The art or practice of shaping figures or designs in the round. For example, going to non-milk marble village in Da Nang We embraced by a wide variety of marble sculptures from Buddha statues to bracelets. Now you listen and repeat. Artisan, artisan. Craftsman, craftsman. Workshop, workshop. Lacquerware, lacquerware. Marble sculpture, marble sculpture. I will check if you remember the new words or not. You will say the words in English. Now the first one. Can you say this word in English? It is marble sculpture. You are good. Now the next one. Can you? It is lacquerware. Good job. And the last one. A person who does work that needs a special skill, making things with their hands. Can you guess the word? It is artisan or craftsman. Well done. Now, let's move to another part of vocabulary. Verbs in relation to traditional crafts. The first verb, carve. What does it mean? It means to make objects, patterns, etc. by cutting away material from a piece of wood or stone or another hard material. Carve is a regular verb, so we can put ed at the end of the verb in the past form. For example, the wood had been carved into the shape of a flower. Next, we have cast. Do you know its meaning? It is to shape hot liquid metal, etc. by pouring it into a hollow container. And cast is an irregular verb. Cast, cast, cast. For example, the artisan cast the statue in bronze. Mold. It means to shape a soft substance into a particular form or object by pressing it or by putting it into a mold. Mold. Molded. Molded. It has another form, mold. Molded. Molded. For example, I molded the clay into the desired shape. Mold something into something. Knit. It means to make clothes, etc. by using two long needles to connect wool or another type of thread into join rows. Remember, K is a silent sound. Knit. And knit is both irregular and regular verb. Listen, repeat. Knit. Knitted. Knitted. Knit. 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 For example, my mother knitted a wool sweater for me. Weave. To make cloths, a carpet, a basket, etc. by crossing threads on narrow pieces of material across, over, and under each other by hand or on a machine called a loom. Weave, weaved, weaved, wove, woven. For example, they wove baskets out of bamboo. The last verb is embroider. To decorate cloth with a pattern of stitches, usually using color thread. Embroider, embroidered, embroidered. For example, she is embroidering flowers on the cushion covers. Now listen and repeat. Carve, carved, carved. Cast, cast, cast. Mold, molded, molded, mold, molded, molded. Knit, knitted, knitted, knit, knit. Weave, weaved, weaved, wove, woven. Embroider, embroidered, embroidered. Now let's practice. Exercise 2A in page 8. You match the verbs in column A with the groups of nouns in column B. For example, 1 goes with B. 2 goes with D. 3 matches with E. 4 goes with A. 5 goes with F. And the last one goes with C. The second main content is pronunciation. We are getting to know more about sentence stress. So what is sentence stress? Which words in the sentence are stressed and which ones are unstressed? Let's watch a clip.
Rhythm of English. The rhythm of English is created by stressing some words and de-stressing others. First, we stress content words, which carry meaning in a sentence. These include nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs, interjections, WH words, and negatives. Stress means we say a syllable or word longer, louder, and higher in pitch. Second, we also de-stress function words, typically little words, which are more about the grammar and structure of the sentence. These include prepositions, pronouns, articles, conjunctions, and auxiliary verbs. Let's practice the rhythm of English by playing with the words in a sentence. If I spoke like a little child using only content words, notice that you would still understand me despite the incorrect grammar. For example, want new iPhone. Here, I stress the verb, adjective, and noun, and said each of them nice and clearly on the beat. Want new iPhone. Now, let's add some function words for correct grammar, and notice how the musical beat of the content words stays the same. I want a new iPhone. Did you hear that the same three content words still carried the same beat of the music of the sentence? This is because native English speakers say those de-stressed function words very quickly. Listen again. Want new iPhone. I want a new iPhone. This stressing and de-stressing is part of what creates the music of English. This is why if you speak English with the music of your first language, it may create confusion for the listener. Now, let's play with a few more sentences, but this time, let's say them how we would speak in everyday life. Can you still hear the same musical beat in the rhythm of English? Listen and repeat. Want get new iPhone. I want to get a new iPhone. Notice how want to became wanna. Search word Google. Search the word on Google. Find man Facebook. You can find the man on Facebook.
So, stress on content words and distress on function words. Some content words like main verbs, nouns, adjectives, adverbs, WH words, negative auxiliary like don't. Distress function words like pronouns, prepositions, articles, conjunctions, possessive adjectives, to be auxiliary verbs. Now let's practice. Exercise 6 in page 9. Underline the content words in the sentences. 1 minute for you. Now, you listen, check, and repeat.
1. The Arts Museum is a popular place of interest in my city.
2. This cinema attracts lots of youngsters.
3. The artisans mold clay to make traditional pots.
4. Where do you like going at weekends?
5. We shouldn't destroy historical buildings.
There are 2 grammar points in this unit: complex sentences and phrasal verbs. Now look at this picture. This is Lan, and she was tired. But she finished knitting a scarf for her dad. Although Lan was tired, she finished knitting a scarf for her dad. This is a complex sentence. A complex sentence is a sentence with one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. These clauses are connected by a subordinator. There are 4 dependent clauses. Dependent clauses of concession, of reason, time, and purpose. A dependent clause of concession. For example, although Lan was tired, she finished knitting the scarf for her dad. Or I can swap the 2 clauses. Lan finished knitting the scarf for her dad, although Lan was tired. A dependent clause of concession begins with a subordinator, though, although, or even though. And it shows an unexpected result. A dependent clause of reason, for example, since it was raining, they canceled the trip to Chang'an. Or, they canceled the trip to Chang'an since it was raining. A dependent clause of reason begins with a subordinator, since, because, as. And it answers the question, why? A dependent clause of time. For example, when I have free time, I usually go to the museum. Or, I usually go to the museum when I have free time. A dependent clause of time begins with a subordinator, when, while, before, after, as soon as. And it tells when the action takes place. A dependent clause of purpose. For example, the artisan molded the clay so that he could make a mask. A dependent clause of purpose begins with a subordinator, so that or in order that. It tells the purpose of the action. Now let's take a look at these 4 dependent clauses. Practice. Exercise 2 in page 10. Make a complex sentence. Use the subordinator provided and make any necessary changes. The villagers are trying to learn English. They can communicate with foreign customers. The answer is, the villagers are trying to learn English in order that they can communicate with foreign customers. We ate lunch. Then we went to Nam Nup Marble Village to buy some souvenirs. After we had eaten lunch, we went to Nam Nup Marble Village to buy some souvenirs. Notice that I use past perfect to describe an action happened before an action in the past. Look at this hand-embroidered picture. It was expensive, but we bought it. Even though this hand-embroidered picture was expensive, we bought it. This department store is an attraction in my city. The products are of good quality. This department store is an attraction in my city because the products are of good quality. Now, let's move to another part of grammar points, phrasal verbs. Listen to the conversation between me and VUNG. Pay attention to the underlined verb phrases.
Wow! When did your grandparents set up this workshop?
My great-grandparents started it, not my grandparents. Then my grandparents took over the business.
Answer my question. What is the meaning of the underlined verb phrases? Can each part of the verb phrase help you understand its meaning? No, each part of the verb phrase cannot help us understand its meaning. And these verb phrases are called phrasal verbs. So what is phrasal verb? Phrasal verb include a verb goes with particle. Particle can be preposition like on, in, at, after, of, with. Or it can be adverb like over, up, down, into, away. Let's take a look at an example. Look for means search. Look after means take care of. Look up means search the meaning of the word in a dictionary. Or look forward to means be thinking with pleasure about something to come. A verb can go with two particles. There are some phrasal verbs in this unit. The first one, set up, start something, a business, an organization, etc. Take over, take control of something, a business or an organization. Get up, get out of bed. Find out, get information. Bring out, publish or launch. Look through, read. Keep up with, stay equal with. Look forward to, be thinking with pleasure about something to come. Run out of, have no more of. Close down, stop doing business. Let's practice. Exercise 6 in page 10. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence, using the word given. Number 1. Where did you get the information about Disneyland Resort? First, you underline the verb in the question. We have the phrasal verb find out. Then you write the other words. We have the sentence. Where did you find out about Disneyland Resort? Now do the same. Let's check. When did you get it this morning? I'll look through this leaflet to see what activities are organized at this attraction. They're going to bring out a guidebook to different beauty spots in Vietnam. I'm looking forward to the weekend. So we have just learned about grammar points with complex sentences and phrasal verbs. Do you want to play a game? Who wants to be a millionaire? Number 1. Local people often sell like bracelets, scarves, and hats to tourists. The answer is A. Handicrafts. Number 2. My mom instructed me through 15 stages of making a conical hat. I could make one for me. C is the correct answer. Number 3. Why did she turn your invitation to the painting exhibition last week? Turn down is the correct answer. It means refuse. Number 4. I've had no more embroidered handkerchiefs. Would you like the knitted instead? And the correct answer is B. Run out of. The last one. Which of these followings is not the benefit of traditional crafts? B is the correct answer. Relying too much on tourism is not the benefit of traditional crafts. Some benefits of traditional crafts are providing employment, providing additional income, preserving cultural heritage, helping develop tourism, creating national or regional pride. So it's very necessary for us to preserve traditional crafts. As you can see in the picture, these are traditional crafts of Vũng Tàu City. So in this Unit 1, we have learned about vocabulary in relation to traditional crafts with 4 nouns and 6 verbs, and pronunciation with sentence stress. Remember, stress on content words and the stress on function words. Grammar points, complex sentences, and phrasal verbs. Homework. Learn vocabulary by heart. Review grammar points. Do exercises 1, 2, 4 in page 3 and 4 in your workbook. Thank you very much for your attention.